This is my warning to the American public. Now, what I'm about to share with you is my opinion. You should always do your own research. I only ever state on my channel the things that I'm actually doing myself. And all I'm doing is encouraging you to dive deep and to understand things like this. If you haven't seen the new Coinbase commercial, I recommend you watch it over and over again until you understand at a deep level what the quick commercial is actually saying. We're seeing a systematic shift in our financial system that will never happen again in our lifetime, our kids' lifetime, and probably our grandkids' lifetime. Now, unfortunately, this systematic shift has got the unsuspecting public not understanding how radically transformational and how destructive it can be to the current financial system that they live in. This is not our grandparents' or our parents' economy anymore. You have to understand inflationary, which is the US dollar since 1913 when the Federal Reserve was created, your dollar's collapsed 99%, to a deflationary system that I've been talking about since 2020. I've been warning you about the bond market. I've been warning you about the unsustainable debt in America. And what you're about to see is them turn the printing machines on full blast. Remember, the US dollar has zero backing to it. It's called fiat. They're going to monetize more debt than you've ever seen. Now, their goal is to grow our way out of the economy. Now, that's your hint. And the other hint is the reason why the largest asset managers in the world, the biggest economists in the world, are now flooding into one of the most scarce assets that's ever been created, and is the new foundation and the spine of the new financial system, Bitcoin. I put my money where my mouth is. My number one holdings XRP, my number two is Bitcoin. Here's why. Because they're deflationary. Watch this commercial over and over and over again. Bitcoin, 21 million in supply. The supply is almost gone. And asset managers haven't even fully got their clients involved in it yet. So the only way in the future someone's going to get Bitcoin is if somebody sells it. And if there's a supply and demand shock, the price is going to skyrocket. There's predictions, Kathy Woods, I just did a whole video on this, and it's math. Because of its scarcity, because of the demand, Bitcoin could go from 104,000 today to 1.5 million in 2030. That is less than 5 years away. How long would it take you in your 401k to go from 100,000 to 1.5 million? People work their whole career, their whole life to get $1 million in retirement. Hardly anybody retires with $1 million in America. And at 4% interest, that's $40,000 in retirement income. The average American needs to make $140,000 a year to be middle class. And now here's where it gets a little bumpy and scary. It takes $140,000 to be middle class. They're about to turn the printing machine on full blast. They're going to monetize a ton of debt. So your hard-earned money that you spend time away from your family is going to become less valuable every single day. Yes, you're going to feel wealthier. They're going to lower taxes. There's going to be money flying into the system. There's going to be more jobs, but you're getting paid in someone else's debt. That system can only continue for a certain amount of time. At some point, it has to flip to deflationary. And that's always been the plan since 2009 when Bitcoin was created, a deflationary asset that all ironically now is fixing the system. They're going to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. They're going to grow their way out of the economy. But now they're ready. The banks are ready now to invite you in because most of the supply is gone. So the general public still has an opportunity to get a piece of the supply. Bitcoin's deflationary. XRP's deflationary. They are opposite of the US dollar. Every fiat system in history has collapsed. And in every fiat collapse, the middle class gets wiped out. So this isn't to scare you. This is to say, do your research. Don't try to get rich in crypto. Try to understand how the system actually works. Study inflationary systems and study deflationary systems. And that's exactly how I built my ecosystem. I focus on 4 things. Cash flow, not cash. When I get paid, I make sure it's either making more cash through dividend ETF strategies, scaling my cash flow businesses. Then I go into number 2. I take that cash flow and I put it in deflationary assets. Number 1 is XRP. Number 2 is Bitcoin. And I have many other cryptos, but those are my top 2 holdings. Number 3, I focus on protection. And number 4 is leverage. So every month I'm pumping money into my cash value life insurance policies. I'm pumping money into my deflationary assets, one being Bitcoin, which is a store of value that I'm never going to sell, which creates number 4, which is leverage. So now I have 2 family banks. I have my Bitcoin bank that I will never sell my Bitcoin, ever. And I have my insurance bank, Richest Man in Babylon. So I no longer have to go to the banks for lending anymore. That's why the banks did not like crypto and why they're pushing so hard on Bitcoin. For example, I just leveraged my Bitcoin at 14%. I bought an insurance firm. That insurance firm is already paying it back. You should only leverage if you have cash to pay it back. At 14%, Bitcoin grows 50% every year. I'm making 36% on my money. So I borrowed for my own Bitcoin, never sold it. It's going up 50% every single year. I beat the hurdle rate of 14%. I made 36% of my money, and I bought a cash generating business that'll be paid off after this next payment in 8 months. And I basically bought a free insurance company because I beat the hurdle rate. You have to understand macro and microeconomics. You have to watch this commercial over and over again until you understand it. If not, you'll be in a debt enslavement system for the rest of your life. But there is an opportunity for the normal everyday public to get a piece of the new infrastructure of the financial system. And I believe that they'll be the new oil families. But it's going to take discipline. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take trying not to get rich quick, stay out of the meme coin gain, all this bullshit. If you want to do that stuff, go play lottery tickets. Go do that stuff. You have just as good a chance of winning and just as good as chance of sustaining it. Coach 11,400 people, and I've met one person I think that did well on meme coins and sustained it, but then they lost it because they thought they're going to do it again. It's not how wealth is built. Wealth is not built hastily. It's not built quickly. It's built through discipline, consistency, and actual plan that is planned not only for this generation, but the next generation. So I hope this information helps. Again, this is just my thought process. I'm encouraging you to do your own research and think for yourself. Warriors, rise! Get your shit together. Love you guys.